Good evening. Family is like music. Some high notes, some low notes, but always a beautiful song. Welcome to BMC News Live English. Myself, Shina Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's news in detail. Bahrain has topped the GCC in a list of the most economically free countries in the world, taking the 65th place in the latest annual Economic Freedom of the World Index by the Fraser Institute, prepared on the basis of 2019 data. The kingdom ranks higher than the UAE, which is 67th, Qatar at 80th, Saudi Arabia 91st, Kuwait 98th, and Oman 102nd. Finance and National Economy Minister Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa paid tribute to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, hailing royal directives to launch the stimulus package to mitigate the impact of the novel coronavirus and maintain sustainable development. He praised the follow-up of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, noting the extension of the stimulus package for 3 months from June 2021 until August 2021. The minister stressed the continued drive exerted by Team Bahrain, which supported the kingdom's economic recovery, underlining efforts to achieve desired goals of the stimulus package during the coming period and turn challenges into opportunities. In a statement today, he said that the recorded economic indicators were comparative to the levels recorded during the year 2019, before the outbreak of the pandemic, which reflects the continued pace of economic recovery. In the real estate sector, the number of building permits issued in August of this year 2021 exceeded the levels recorded during the same period in 2019 by 64.4%. The total construction area for the licenses issued during the month of August amounted to about 448,000 square meters, an increase of 151.6% over the year 2019. The minister noted the increase in cashless transactions due to the pandemic, as the results were reflected in the levels of sales at points of sale. He said that total sales increased last August by more than 55% from their levels in the same period in 2019, coinciding with the return of commercial activity during the month of August 2021. In the trade sector, the value of international exports of national origin increased by 103% during August 2021 compared to the same month in 2019. International imports grew by 16%. In domestic trade, a total of 627 new commercial registers were issued to companies during August 2021, an increase of 28.8% compared to the same month in 2019. Medical devices and provisions worth 45 million dinar were imported last year, it has been revealed. The supplies range from gauze, cotton and gloves to thermometers, X-ray and CT machines. The Labour Market Regulatory Authority (LMRA) announced the reopening of the offices of the Social Insurance Organisation (SIO) starting September 26th. LMRA Chief Executive Jamal Al-Alawi praised the cooperation between the two entities, noting that SIO is a major partner in the services provided by the authority since 2008. Bahrain yesterday recorded 119 new COVID-19 cases alongside 89 recoveries and no fatalities. Of the new cases, 62 were expatriate workers, 46 were contacts of local cases and 11 travel related. Now we shall go for short commercial break.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. IMAC, Cochin Kala Bhavan.
Welcome back. Information and E-Government Authority Chief Executive Mohammed Al-Qad has highlighted Bahrain's experience in deploying modern technologies to support the efforts of the National Task Force to combat the coronavirus through developing the framework of the Be Aware Bahrain application. The app is a unique national initiative that Bahrain is proud to share with the world, contributing to global efforts to combat the coronavirus. Al-Qad said as he received Bahrain-based World Health Organization Office representative Dr. Tasnim Atatra. Incentives could be provided to encourage people to adopt green landscaping inside and outside homes and on rooftops. Works, Municipalities Affairs and Urban Planning Minister Essam Khalaf told the Muharraq Municipal Council in writing yesterday that a new strategy will be introduced in partnership with the Shura Council for Environment. Bahrain suffered a tough 2-3 loss to India yesterday in their thrilling final classification game of the 21st Asian Senior Men's Volleyball Championship in Japan. The result put the Bahrainis in 10th place overall among 16 participating teams, while India climbed 9th. It was the fourth time in 10 appearances that Bahrain was classified 10th in the continental tournament. In Bahrain's loss yesterday, the Indians did well to take the 2-set advantage and appeared to be cruising to the convincing victory. But the Nationals would not go down easily and fought back valiantly behind the strong play of Mohammad Annan and Ali, who led their rally with 6 points apiece in the third set. The Bahrainis took the next 2 sets to set up the decisive tie-break but could not complete their comeback in the end with a tightly contested finish. It was a hotly contested affair throughout and the match lasted over 2 hours. 4 of Bahrain's players finished in double figures scoring. Rai Ashwal paced India in the win with 24 points. The World Youth Group has appointed Bahrain-based businessman Mohammed Mansour as the director of their council. Mr. Mansour, founder and CEO of Sara Group, heads as a series of ventures and organizations spread across the domains of information technology, energy, oil and gas, sports, seed, capital investments, and is a well-known social activist and philanthropist. Founded in 2019, the World Youth Group is a globally renowned team of elected young leaders, politicians, parliamentarians, and diplomats. Their mission is to educate, encourage, and engage global youth in social and political sectors within the UN realm by supporting the United Nations initiatives. Apart from the UN and its agencies, the entity to host highest number of elected representatives in the 76th UNGA. With 22 members of parliament, 6 ministers of UN permanent representatives representing over 25 countries to participate in 5 summits. The founding organizations are Collegiate Congress USA, All Africa Students Union AASU, ESU, OCLAE, and Young Republican National Federation, and the founding members are then heads of their respective organizations. Adding heft to the organization is the advisory board, which comprises of 10 permanent representatives, ambassadors of UN member states. Each ambassador also acts as chief advisor for a committee on SDG. With 108 national student unions, a dozen national youth political leadership, and over 45 youngest members of parliament, they are to be the largest only elected youth leaders consortium in the world. Speaking about Mr. Mansoor's appointment as director, the council, His Excellency Ambassador Colin, permanent representative of Botswana to the UN and president of the UN's Economic and Social Council, said Mr. Mansoor's credentials as an entrepreneur and social activist speak for themselves, and we at the advisory board are delighted to have him as our partner, as we are confident that under Mr. Mansoor's able leadership, the council, which comprises of top experts in various fields and is the only non-parliamentary, non-diplomat team at the World Youth Group. And it will serve to further strengthen our group as we actively work towards United Nations Agenda 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals, and revitalize the globalized partnership for sustainable development, especially during these challenges time. Christo Thomas, Chair, World Youth Group, added, Mr. Mansoor's association with us will add the much needed impetus to invigorate the council. I'm confident that we will grow up by leaps and bounds and accelerate our progress towards our common goals. Saudi Arabia is currently building the new 72-kilometer Jeddah-Mecca highway, which includes 4 lanes in each direction and is designed to serve 30 million Umrah pilgrims annually. The journey time on the fastest road leading from Jeddah to Mecca is 35 minutes after the speed of vehicles was set at 140 km per hour. The road also connects King Abdulaziz Airport with the holy capital of Mecca directly, which helping the transportation of pilgrims. The project also contributes to reducing traffic congestion on existing roads, especially the Haramain Highway. The project includes 4 main lanes in each direction and starts from its first point in Mecca from the intersection of the 3rd Ring Road on the side of Al Fayham neighborhood and ends in Jeddah at Airport Bridge adjacent to the Aramco refinery next to King Abdulaziz International Airport. It will serve the neighborhoods located in the north of Jeddah and travelers to the Jewel Stadium and the airport. It will also facilitate the movement of pilgrims during the Hajj and Umrah seasons to avoid crowds, especially on the Al Haramain road. The General Authority of Civil Aviation Saudi Arabia has instructed all airlines, including private airlines operating in the kingdom's airports, to verify the immune status of expatriates before boarding their plane bound for the kingdom. GACA announced the new procedures in a circular sent to all airlines, the Saudi press agency reported on Monday. The circular stipulated that one of the two ways is to be adopted to verify the eligibility of the expatriate traveler. This is either by showing the status of immunization on the Tawakkalna application or submitting a report providing that the immunization is carried out in the kingdom through the Kudum online platform. The authority stressed the need to have total compliance with the new directive, warning that legal measures will be taken against the violators and that they will be accountable for any eventualities caused by the violation. It is noteworthy that last Monday GACA had issued instructions to all airlines operating in the kingdom's airports to update the entry mechanism and procedures for residents and visitors arriving from countries that are not on the kingdom's entry banned list, and to reduce the period of institutional quarantine to a period of 5 days. Kuwait has announced that expatriates on commercial visit visas will now be able to transfer to work permits in the private sector. This was revealed by the Public Authority for Manpower in a bid to meet high demand for manpower by Kuwaiti companies, Kuwait Times reported. This decision is a result of cooperation between PAM and the Interior Ministry and the Ministerial Coronavirus Emergency Committee, which allows those entering the country on commercial visit visas to transfer to Article 18 work visas easily. PAM Director General Ahmed Al Mousa said, "We discussed the transfer of teachers arriving on commercial visit visas to work visas, especially as preparations are ongoing for the start of the new academic year. We reviewed cooperation on this issue with the Interior Ministry," he added. Around 80% of the total target population has been vaccinated with one dose of COVID-19 vaccine in Oman. The total number of people vaccinated with at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine until September 19, 2021 reached 2,810,262. This represents 80% of the total target. Oman's Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning has announced that expats who purchase flats under the Usufruct scheme will be able to hold on to their properties even after they have left the country. Non-Omani owners who buy real estates in multi-story residential and commercial buildings can keep the property even when they return to their home countries on expiry of their work contracts at a company or an organization in Oman, a ministry official said. If they wish, they can also rent the properties through a mediation office, a law firm, a realtor, or the like to manage rent or oversee their assets, irrespective of whether they are within or outside Oman, he added. India, the world's largest vaccine producer, will resume exports and donations of surplus coronavirus vaccines in October after halting them during a devastating surge in domestic infections in April, the health minister said Monday. Manshukh Mandaviya said the surplus vaccines will be used to fulfill India's commitment towards the world for the collective fight against COVID-19. But vaccinating Indians will remain the government's topmost priority. India was expected to be a key supplier for the world and for the UN-backed initiative aimed at vaccine equity known as COVAX. It began exporting doses in January but stopped doing so to inoculate its own population during a massive surge in infections in April that pushed India's health system to the breaking point. The halt in exports left many developing countries without adequate supplies and delayed vaccines for millions of people. Before halting exports, India donated or sold 66 million vaccine doses. Pfizer and BioNTech on Monday said clinical trial results showed their coronavirus vaccine was safe, well tolerated, and produced a robust immune response in children aged 5 to 11, adding that they would seek regulatory approval shortly. The vaccine would be administered at a lower dosage than for people 12 and over, the company said in a statement. They said they would submit their data to regulatory bodies in the European Union, the United States, and around the world as soon as possible. The United States will lift travel restrictions on people from abroad who can prove they are fully vaccinated against the coronavirus starting in early November, the White House said on Monday. The United States currently bars entry for most non-citizens from 33 countries. Former President Donald Trump had ordered an entry ban on foreigners for several nations in March 2020 as the pandemic began locking down countries across the globe. The restrictions were then kept in place by President Joe Biden, citing the spread of the more contagious Delta variant. The restrictions state that only US citizens and permanent residents along with their family members can enter the US if they have been in the 33 countries in the past 14 days. All others need special permission. In announcing the lifting of the travel ban, White House COVID-19 coordinator Jeffrey also said US-bound travelers will also face new testing protocols. In addition to demonstrating proof of being fully vaccinated, foreign nationals must also show a negative PCR test result within 3 days of the flight. There will be no quarantine requirement upon arrival. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shina Sultana. Good night.